you strike me down, I shall become more powerful than you could possibly imagine.
Welcome back, everybody! It is time to look at another strategy video. Today we're going to look at Sithspa, who is not a rebellion card, but we're going to pair her with some rebellion cards during this video. But I think Sithspa has been one of the major winners of Untamed rotating out of Modern, because mainly we don't have Kitty anymore. Kitty was essentially a huge counter. Sithspa gives everybody phase, which gives magic characters the ability to dodge. And when we had Kitty available, Sithspa and Kitty are both in the dragon element. So anytime Sithspa was available, Kitty was available too. You ran Sithspa against Kitty, obviously wasn't gonna work. You were completely screwed. And then Kitty is just so good. Like, it was hard to use any other dragon summoner when Kitty was on the table. So Kitty's disappearance from Modern has really opened up for the emergence of Sithspa, and I feel like Sithspa has been very, very good. Been using her a ton, and is becoming one of my favorite summoners. Might be one of the most underrated cards in the game right now, because I feel like, at least at higher levels, I really feel like Sithspa kind of got forgotten when she first came out, and now has really emerged. So let's go through several battles here, talk about what I like to do while using Sithspa. Let's just let the battle roll. Very simple one here. This is a common combination I like to start out with. So essentially what we're gonna do is we are going to really stack speed, because we want to give the ability to dodge. And this combination here is pretty straightforward. You have Ruse, who works really well because first off, it's a very fast card. So it can be your dodge tank up front and can get a lot of dodges itself. And then, yeah, it doesn't have a lot of health, so you gotta get pretty lucky. It takes a couple hits and it's down, but it then gets that Martyr, which can buff up your second card. So a card I like to put in that second spot is this Red Worm Dragon, a new rebellion card, which you're going to see a lot of. A fast card that has immunity. Has immunity, so you can't, like, something like slow is not going to impact it. You can't just land a poison on it. Sometimes you run a dodge team and they get one poison hit, and then they don't even have to get any more hits. You just slowly drain away. Can't land poison. It's got that flying, so high speed flying. It's going to be able to dodge a lot of cards. You like to throw the speed up, like swiftness, like Naga Assassin. I like to throw some blind in there. One blind card, our new card right here. Savea. This is becoming one of my favorite cards, that protect, repair, and then you get the blind on top of it. So the flying plus the blind is a 40% dodge chance right off the start. Then you've got all this speed as well, and you don't have to worry about them going magic damage and landing magic hits, because you can now dodge everything. Almost everything. You still have True Strike. You still have Snare in this case. We'll get to both of those here in a little bit. Let's look at another fairly simple battle. We'll keep it simple to start off with. I like to use it in these, when we get these enrage abilities, because you can really magnify speed differences. Remember, your default dodge chance without things like flying blind is just a 10 times dodge chance times the speed difference. So if we have a 5 speed difference, is a 50% dodge chance. When you magnify that speed difference with enrage, you can just get insane dodge chances here. Plus the speed difference plus the flying. Dr. Blight has no shot at all of landing any hits there. That's 100% dodge chance at that point. Well, actually, once he got his speed back, I think it was a 95% dodge chance, but very, very high dodge chances. I like to use it with Enrage. I love to use it with Wands Out, where there are only magical attacks. And I like to get cards, again, you see another flying card, a fast flying card up front. We've got Red Worm Dragon back there, a second fast flying card. So we've got 2 cards up front that can dodge quite a bit. We've got some more blind back here. Got the ability to heal them up if needed. Sometimes that can actually be harmful. Gives them a chance to land that poison or something like that. You heal them back up to full health and then they lose their speed boost from Enrage. That's why I like that immunity down here on the Red Worm Dragon. But one reason I like to use this in the magic only rule sets is because, okay, we're using some flying cards, right? And one of the counters to that is Snare. One of the counters to this is True Strike. There's only one magical True Strike card in the game. There's only one magical Snare card in the game. So the odds of you seeing a True Strike or a Snare on a magical card are very, very slim. They're not going to be out there very much at all. And we can just, I'm just setting up the ability to essentially dodge everything. They've got their own Void Dragon, which already has phase. You can really see the power of phase in this battle with two high-speed cards with phase up front. And the power of Affliction there as well. They had their own heal. They were able to heal up. Once I finally landed that Affliction, now every time I can consistently make progress getting those hits in. And that's why I like the immunity on this card down here. I don't have to worry about Dr. Blight coming in and landing a poison, landing an Affliction that's going to block that heal. Immunity is one of the best abilities in the game. And this is a very slow battle. A lot of times these dodge teams can be, because I don't bring a lot of, even though we got 48 mana, I don't bring a ton of offensive firepower myself. Oh, that's got a stun too. On top of it all, it has a stun, which can be pretty nice. Don't bring a ton of firepower because I'm just really trying to get as much dodge as possible. I didn't get a lot of swiftness, didn't get a lot of extra speed here, but just provided fast cards to start out with. I think you can see I'm slowly working their team down here. The blast can kind of be a problem sometimes. Didn't become too much of a problem in this battle, but lots of phase cards, lots of dodge. Their phase cards are finally gone. Obviously gonna make some headway now. Let's go ahead and move on to the next battle. Oh, another Enrage. Wand's out. Korra! 14 mana Korra. This is a lot of times people struggle with how can you beat Korra in some of these rule sets. So I just decided to go with some dodge here. And guess what? I had to throw this one in here because I said there's only one magical Snare card out there. Here it is. Our Blackmoor Nymph has immunity, which we talked about. Now that can be really nice. And then has a Snare as well. The Snare didn't really help me, but I mentioned the card. I mentioned there was only one card with Snare. Had to bust it out. There's another familiar setup against another team that has a lot of speed back there. They've got a lot of speed. They have Enrage, and oh, guess what? They have a phase card of their own. We're showing off the power of phase today. But I love this Naga Assassin back there, because add all that speed, add the blind on top of it. Their battle starts to get carried away here. Slow down. Whoa, horsey. But you've also got that backfire, which is really, really nice. And if they do go with a sneak team, that can sometimes be a counter to this. If they go with a sneak team and they take out all my swiftness, all my blind in the back before they work down my front card, and then I don't have as many cards to support that dodge. We got Naga Assassin back there. Look at that, 11 speed. And we've got blind on top of it with that Enrage. Then you've got the backfire, can get some damage all on its own. You see, we've just got our speed so high. With the blind, Dr. Blight can't hit Vruz until he gets healed up and only has 8 health. But at that point, it's too late. There's just such a low chance to actually hit this. I love my dodge teams. I love dodge. All right, Dr. Blight's done. On to, we've got one more here. Another one of my favorite setups. There's so many different ways you can run this team, right? We have the Iziar Resurrect team. We're going to, it's a martyr card. You're gonna res the martyr card multiple times. Why are the battles getting carried away today? And we've got the same setup. Vruz up front. If Vruz takes the res, that's okay. We're just buffing up our dragon back there. who's gonna get a lot of that. Here that you see the stun come into play, ends up blocking that heal. But just another way to buff up our dragon as much as possible. And one of the nice things about getting Martyr on some of these dodge teams, here, we don't see it here, but sometimes Dispel is an issue, right? You get all these Martyrs and then Dispel kicks in and just takes them all away. Well, you can't Dispel what you can't hit. So even if a card has Dispel and they're trying to land that Dispel on you, if that card gets dodged, the Dispel doesn't apply. So that's kind of a way to sometimes counter that counter. And then we've got a bunch of damage to go with that speed, that flying. I just struggle to land any hits. All right, we've got one more battle here. One more battle before we leave. It's going to feature one of my favorite cards in the game. I have taken some flack from this. I do not believe Korra is the best gladiator card out there. And I have said before, a lot of people disagree with me, but I've said that I like Tatiana Blade better than Korra. I run the Sithspa Tatiana Blade combo quite a bit and absolutely love it. And you're gonna see it. You're gonna see it here as we just get a ton of dodge. We have dodge on this card, high speed, throw some blind in behind it, and we can see the power there of blind as despite being faster, I get dodged by blind, stealing some of my bloodlust attacks. That's okay. We still had enough. We didn't need the blind on our side. Tatiana Blade's fast enough, has her own dodge. Gets her own bloodlust. And it's just so fun to stack up. I mean, you stack up the damage as well, but stacking up the dodge. And one thing is, this is a giant killer card. Tatiana Blade's only 8 mana. It's almost better for cards to be 8 or 9 mana than it is to be 10 plus mana, because you're not susceptible to that potential 1 big hit. That potential 10 damage from a giant killer card. Look at that bloodlust. Look at all of that speed. I love it. I love Sithspa. I've been using Sithspa now more than I ever have previously. And it's fun. I love my dodge teams. Adding the ability to dodge magic is great. I was so excited about Sithspa when it was first released. I was like, yes, we've got a phase card. This is gonna be awesome. And then I just never used it because it was always Kitty's better. Kitty's better. Bye-bye, Kitty. No more Kitty. I know we're all disappointed that Kitty is gone from Modern, right? Everybody is so sad. I can see the tears across the TV screen. With the fall of Kitty comes the rise of Sthispa. What do you guys think? Do you use Sithspa very much? Been a go-to card for me in several rule sets. Absolutely love this Rift Watchers card. It's fun. What's also fun is making these strategy videos, so make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. There's gonna be more to come. I'll see you on the next one.